Have you ever wondered why some people enter your life with empty hands, but eventually want to share everything they have with you? Their dreams, their victories, their blessings, their wealth, and even the deepest secrets they've never revealed to another soul. What if I told you that this kind of connection doesn't begin with money or success? It begins with something far more powerful, a transformation within the heart. Somewhere in this world, there may already be someone whose soul is slowly preparing to trust you in a way they have never trusted anyone before. They may not simply be searching for a partner. They may be searching for a safe place where they can finally remove every mask and be completely seen. But here's the truth that few people ever realize. Before someone can share everything with you, life first asks a profound question. Are you truly ready to receive all that they carry? Their love, their fears, their past, their hopes, their blessings, and their future all come together as one complete story. Stay with me until the very end, because today you'll discover why the deepest soulmate connections are never built on possessions alone, but on trust so complete that two hearts become fearless enough to share everything they are and everything they will ever become. When people hear the word wealth, their minds often rush toward money, luxury, possessions, or the visible signs of success. Yet, the deepest relationships are rarely built upon these things alone. There is a kind of wealth that cannot be counted, purchased, or displayed. And it is this invisible abundance that gives lasting meaning to any soulmate connection. A true soulmate does not simply arrive carrying material blessings. They bring a presence that changes the atmosphere of your life. They share encouragement when you feel uncertain, hope when you feel discouraged, wisdom when you stand at a crossroads, and peace when the world around you seems chaotic. These gifts are often overlooked because they cannot be measured. Yet, they are the very foundation upon which every lasting relationship is built. The soul naturally longs for someone with whom it can remove every mask. Throughout life, people learn to protect themselves by hiding disappointments, suppressing emotions, and presenting only the version of themselves they believe others will accept. This creates distance even in relationships that appear close. A soulmate connection gradually dissolves these invisible barriers. It becomes a place where honesty replaces performance, where silence feels comforting instead of awkward, and where vulnerability is welcomed instead of judged. In such a bond, sharing becomes effortless because trust has replaced fear. Material blessings certainly have their place. Financial stability can ease burdens, create opportunities, and provide comfort. However, money without emotional connection often leaves people feeling isolated despite having everything they thought they wanted. On the other hand, two people who genuinely understand and support one another can face difficult circumstances together without losing hope. Their strength does not come from what they own, but from what they build within each other. This inner richness often becomes the very reason they are able to create external success over time. One remarkable truth about authentic love is that it changes how both individuals experience abundance. Instead of asking, "What can I gain?" the question quietly becomes, "What can we create together?" This subtle shift transforms the relationship from competition into partnership. Joy becomes greater when shared. Success feels more meaningful when celebrated together. Even life's challenges become lighter because neither person carries the weight alone. Emotional burdens are divided while happiness seems to multiply. This is one of life's quiet mysteries. Genuine sharing never diminishes what is given. Instead, it often increases its value. The deepest wealth a soulmate offers is the feeling of emotional safety. In a world where many people fear being misunderstood, judged, or abandoned, finding someone who listens without trying to change you is a rare blessing. Such acceptance allows hidden parts of the personality to emerge with confidence. Dreams once kept secret begin to be spoken aloud. Old wounds begin to heal because they are finally witnessed with compassion rather than criticism. Confidence grows naturally because love creates an environment where growth feels possible instead of forced. This kind of relationship also inspires personal transformation. When someone believes in you wholeheartedly, you often begin to see possibilities within yourself that you could not recognize alone. Their faith becomes a mirror reflecting your forgotten strengths. Their patience reminds you that healing is not weakness but courage. Their presence becomes a quiet invitation to become the fullest version of yourself. In this way, the blessings shared between soulmates extend far beyond affection or material comfort. They include resilience during hardship, clarity during confusion, hope during uncertainty, purpose during emptiness, and the unwavering assurance that no matter what seasons life brings, neither heart has to walk through them alone. One of the greatest misunderstandings about soulmate connections is the belief that love alone is enough to bring two people together at the right time. While love may exist beneath the surface, the ability to receive that love depends on something much deeper: inner readiness. Many people long for a relationship that feels complete, honest, and lasting, yet unknowingly carry fears that prevent them from fully accepting the very connection they desire. The heart may ask for closeness, but the unconscious mind often resists it, not because it does not want love, but because it has learned to associate vulnerability with pain. This quiet conflict creates invisible barriers that no amount of external effort can overcome until they are recognized and transformed. Every person carries emotional patterns shaped by past experiences, disappointments, betrayals, broken promises, and moments of rejection leave impressions that continue influencing present relationships. These experiences may convince someone that trusting too deeply is dangerous, or that opening their heart will only lead to another loss. Without realizing it, they begin protecting themselves by becoming emotionally distant, overly cautious, or constantly expecting something to go wrong. These defenses may offer temporary comfort, but they also prevent genuine intimacy from taking root. A soulmate connection cannot fully flourish where fear quietly governs every decision. Inner readiness begins when a person becomes willing to examine these hidden fears instead of allowing them to remain in control. This requires honesty with oneself. It means recognizing that not every fear belongs to the present moment. Sometimes the heart reacts to today's opportunities with yesterday's wounds. The mind may interpret genuine kindness as manipulation simply because it has experienced deception before. It may mistake healthy independence for emotional distance because it once feared abandonment. These unconscious reactions create confusion, causing people to withdraw from the very relationships capable of bringing healing. Another obstacle to receiving love is the belief that one must become completely perfect before deserving it. Many individuals spend years trying to fix every flaw, achieve every goal, or meet every imagined standard before allowing themselves to be fully loved. Yet true connection is rarely built upon perfection. It grows through authenticity. A soulmate does not arrive expecting a flawless person, but someone willing to be real. The courage to reveal imperfections often creates far greater intimacy than any attempt to appear strong or invincible. Genuine love finds strength in honesty, not in performance. Limiting beliefs also shape emotional readiness. A person who secretly believes they are unworthy of lasting happiness may unconsciously reject opportunities for deep connection. Even when love appears, they may question its sincerity, search for hidden motives, or expect it to disappear. These beliefs become self-fulfilling because the fear of losing love often creates behaviors that push it away. Doubt replaces trust. Suspicion replaces openness. And emotional walls grow taller with each passing disappointment. Until these beliefs are challenged, they continue influencing relationships without conscious awareness. Preparing the heart is not about forcing change overnight, but about allowing gradual transformation. As self-awareness grows, fear loses some of its power. Trust develops slowly through repeated experiences of honesty, patience, and emotional safety. A person begins to understand that protecting the heart does not always mean closing it. Sometimes true protection comes from learning when it is finally safe to let someone in. This quiet shift changes how love is experienced. Instead of approaching relationships with constant anxiety, the heart begins responding with calm confidence. Openness replaces resistance. Gratitude replaces scarcity. And connection becomes something that is received as naturally as it is given. allowing two souls to meet not only with affection, but with the emotional freedom to truly share their lives. Many people believe that the most valuable thing two soulmates can share is financial success, beautiful experiences, or a comfortable life together. While these blessings can certainly strengthen a relationship, they are not the deepest form of abundance. The greatest wealth any two people can possess is emotional transparency, the ability to reveal their true thoughts, feelings, fears, dreams, and struggles without hiding behind masks. This kind of openness creates a bond that goes far beyond attraction or convenience. It allows two individuals to know each other completely, not only through their strengths, but also through their vulnerabilities. In that space of honesty, love becomes more than an emotion. It becomes a place where both hearts can finally rest. Every person carries an inner world that remains unseen by most people. There are silent fears that are never spoken aloud, hopes that seem too fragile to share, regrets that still weigh heavily on the heart, and dreams that have been hidden because of past disappointment. Many spend years protecting these private parts of themselves, believing that if others truly knew them, they might be rejected or misunderstood. As a result, relationships often remain on the surface where conversations revolve around daily routines while the deepest emotions remain locked away. A soulmate connection invites something different. It creates an environment where honesty feels safer than pretending and authenticity becomes more valuable than perfection. Emotional transparency does not mean revealing everything at once or speaking without wisdom. It develops gradually as trust grows between two people. Every truthful conversation becomes another step toward deeper understanding. Every moment of genuine listening strengthens the foundation of the relationship. Over time, both individuals realize they no longer need to hide their insecurities or constantly appear strong. They discover that true closeness is not created by impressing one another, but by allowing themselves to be fully seen. This realization brings a sense of freedom that cannot be purchased or replaced by material success. One of the greatest barriers to emotional transparency is fear. Many people have experienced moments when their honesty was met with criticism, betrayal, or indifference. These painful experiences teach the heart to remain cautious. Instead of expressing what they truly feel, they begin saying only what seems safe. They avoid difficult conversations, suppress disappointment, and quietly carry emotional burdens alone. While this may reduce immediate conflict, it slowly creates distance. Silence becomes heavier than words, and misunderstandings grow where openness could have brought healing. A soulmate relationship gently challenges these patterns by proving through consistent care and patience that honesty does not always lead to pain. When emotional transparency becomes part of a relationship, trust deepens naturally. Neither person needs to constantly guess what the other is thinking or feeling. Instead of assuming the worst, they communicate with sincerity and compassion. This openness prevents small misunderstandings from becoming lasting wounds. It also allows both individuals to support one another in meaningful ways because they understand what the other truly needs. Advice becomes more thoughtful, comfort becomes more effective, and encouragement becomes more personal because it is rooted in genuine understanding rather than assumption. This kind of emotional richness often influences every other area of life. Two people who trust each other deeply tend to make wiser decisions together because fear no longer dominates their conversations. They celebrate victories without jealousy, face challenges without blaming one another, and encourage growth without feeling threatened by each other's success. Their relationship becomes a source of stability rather than uncertainty. The wealth they share cannot be measured by bank accounts or possessions because its true value lies in the unwavering confidence that they are accepted completely. In a world where many people feel unseen despite being surrounded by others, emotional transparency becomes one of the rarest and most precious gifts two soulmates can ever share. One of the quiet truths about a genuine soulmate connection is that blessings rarely remain limited to one person. When two individuals are united through trust, mutual respect, and sincere love, the good that enters one life often flows naturally into the other. This is not because life suddenly becomes free of difficulties, but because authentic relationships transform the way abundance is experienced. Joy is no longer something to protect or keep for oneself. Instead, it becomes something to celebrate together. Success is no longer measured by individual achievement alone, but by the growth and happiness both people create side by side. Many relationships struggle because they are influenced by comparison instead of cooperation. One partner's success may unintentionally become the other's insecurity. Achievements can create distance when people secretly compete for recognition, attention, or control. In a soulmate connection, however, the perspective shifts completely. The victory of one becomes the victory of both. There is no need to measure who contributes more because each person understands that their strengths are meant to complement rather than compete with one another. This attitude creates an atmosphere where both individuals feel encouraged to pursue their dreams without fear of creating imbalance. The same principle applies to emotional blessings. When one person experiences healing, it often inspires healing in the other. A calmer heart creates a calmer environment. A hopeful spirit encourages hope in someone who may have been struggling to believe in better days. Emotional peace has a quiet influence that spreads naturally through genuine connection. One person's patience can soften another's anxiety. One person's courage can awaken confidence in someone who has forgotten their own strength. These invisible exchanges become some of the greatest blessings shared between soulmates because they shape everyday life in ways that material gifts never could. Prosperity also takes on a different meaning within this kind of relationship. It is not simply about accumulating wealth, but about creating opportunities together. When trust replaces fear, people become more willing to take meaningful steps toward their goals because they know they are not walking alone. They support each other's ambitions, celebrate progress without jealousy, and remain present during setbacks without assigning blame. This shared commitment often creates a stronger foundation for success than talent or resources alone because it is built upon unwavering encouragement. Even during difficult seasons, the blessings within such a relationship continue to multiply in unexpected ways. Challenges that might overwhelm one person become manageable when carried together. Moments of uncertainty become opportunities to strengthen trust rather than weaken it. Every obstacle faced as a united team deepens resilience, strengthens understanding, and reminds both hearts that true abundance is not measured only by what they possess, but by what they continue to build together through loyalty, generosity, compassion, and the quiet confidence that every blessing becomes more meaningful when it is shared with someone who genuinely desires your happiness as much as their own. Many people imagine that when two soulmates are meant to be together, everything will unfold effortlessly. They expect instant understanding, perfect timing, and a relationship free from obstacles. Yet, the deepest connections rarely begin without challenges. Before two people are able to share their lives completely, they often pass through seasons of character and certainty that shape their character and prepare their hearts. These experiences are not necessarily signs that the connection is failing. Instead, they often reveal what still needs to grow, heal, or be understood before the relationship can become strong enough to endure life-changing circumstances. Periods of distance can become one of these hidden tests. Physical separation, emotional confusion, or unexpected changes in life may temporarily create the feeling that the connection has weakened. During these moments, fear naturally begins asking difficult questions. Doubt may whisper that the relationship is ending or that the other person has changed completely. Yet, distance has a unique way of revealing what truly matters. It exposes whether affection was based on convenience or genuine commitment. It also gives each individual the opportunity to discover their own inner strength instead of depending entirely on another person's presence for emotional stability. Personal transformation is another challenge that often appears before lasting union. No one remains the same throughout life. Experiences, responsibilities, disappointments, and successes continuously reshape how people think and feel. Sometimes one person begins growing faster than the other, creating temporary misunderstandings. This difference can feel uncomfortable, but growth is not meant to separate two compatible souls. Instead, it encourages both individuals to become more mature, compassionate, and self-aware. A relationship built on genuine understanding allows room for change without fearing that love itself will disappear. Another hidden test comes through patience. Modern life encourages immediate results, yet meaningful emotional bonds develop gradually. Trust cannot be forced and deep understanding cannot be rushed. There are moments when nothing seems to move forward despite sincere effort from both people. These quiet seasons often teach emotional endurance. They remind both hearts that lasting love is built through consistency rather than urgency. Every honest conversation, every act of kindness, and every choice to remain respectful during difficulty strengthens the invisible foundation beneath the relationship. These tests also reveal the intentions hidden within the heart. Challenges often uncover qualities that remain invisible during peaceful times. Pride gives way to humility. Selfishness is replaced by generosity, and fear gradually transforms into quiet confidence. Both individuals begin understanding that lasting love is not sustained by powerful emotions alone, but by daily choices rooted in trust, forgiveness, and mutual respect. As these lessons become part of their character, the relationship gains a depth that could never have been achieved without passing through seasons of uncertainty, allowing both souls to meet each other with greater wisdom, stronger resilience, deeper compassion, and a shared readiness to embrace not only life's blessings, but also its inevitable challenges together. Complete trust is one of the rarest gifts two people can experience because it cannot be demanded, purchased, or created overnight. It grows quietly through countless moments of honesty, consistency, and understanding. In a soulmate connection, trust becomes the invisible bridge that allows two hearts to move beyond fear and into genuine closeness. Without it, even the strongest feelings can become weakened by doubt, misunderstanding, and insecurity. With it, however, two people begin to experience a relationship where openness feels natural. Communication becomes effortless, and love is strengthened by the certainty that neither person needs to hide who they truly are. Many people spend years protecting parts of themselves from the outside world. They hide painful memories, personal failures, private fears, and dreams they are afraid others might dismiss. These hidden pieces are often carried in silence because past experiences have taught them that vulnerability can lead to disappointment or rejection. As a result, they become skilled at showing only the parts of themselves that seem acceptable. Yet beneath every carefully constructed image remains a quiet desire to be fully known without losing acceptance. A soulmate connection gradually fulfills this longing by creating an atmosphere where honesty is met with compassion instead of judgment. When trust becomes deeply rooted, conversations begin to change. Words are no longer chosen merely to avoid conflict or create a favorable impression. Instead, both people speak with sincerity because they know their thoughts and emotions will be received with respect. They become willing to admit mistakes without fearing humiliation. They share disappointments without worrying that their weakness will be used against them. They express hopes for the future without fearing ridicule. This openness transforms communication into something far more meaningful than ordinary conversation. It becomes a place where both individuals continually discover new layers of each other's hearts. Complete trust also changes how success and hardship are experienced together. Moments of prosperity are celebrated without jealousy because each person's achievements are viewed as shared victories rather than personal competitions. Financial blessings, opportunities, and accomplishments become resources that strengthen the relationship instead of creating distance. Likewise, difficult seasons no longer need to be faced alone. When challenges arise, both people instinctively move toward one another rather than away from each other. They understand that unity provides greater strength than isolation, and this understanding allows them to remain emotionally connected even during uncertainty. Perhaps the greatest expression of complete trust is the willingness to reveal every chapter of one's story. The past is no longer hidden out of shame. Present struggles are no longer carried in silence. Future dreams are no longer kept secret out of fear that they might never come true. Every blessing, every lesson, every victory, every disappointment, and every hope becomes something that can be shared openly. This level of openness does not erase life's imperfections, but it removes the loneliness that often accompanies them. Two people no longer feel as though they must face the world as separate individuals protecting separate lives. Instead, they gradually become companions who carry each other's burdens, celebrate each other's joys, and create a bond where honesty, loyalty, generosity, emotional safety, and unwavering trust become the greatest treasures they will ever share. As we reach the end of this message, remember that the greatest soulmate connection is not built on chance alone. It is built on truth, trust, emotional growth, and the willingness to share every part of life together. Real love is far more than romance. It is the quiet decision to stand beside one another through seasons of abundance and seasons of uncertainty. It is the courage to replace fear with faith, competition with partnership, and silence with honest communication. When two hearts become emotionally open, they create.